the second race here in Berlin. Hello everybody, welcome to round 8 of the season, the halfway stage of Formula E as well. A little bit of a short pre-show for you today, so we're going to show you everything that happened in qualifying in just under 5 minutes. And then we'll join myself and Ed in the commentary box. And the green light goes on at the end of the pit lane, and we are underway for Group A for Day 2 of ABB FIA Formula E here in Berlin. Away we go then, the car's going to head out, and let's see who's going to be quick. Van Dorn, Evans, Frines, Verline, Degrassi, Dennis, Cassidy, Turvey, Sims, Askew and Sete Camera out in this session. So into the first stint then, it is Degrassi 107.356 from Evans, Frines and Sims, separated by 94 thousandths of a second. Out of it, Van Dorn, Dennis, Turvey, Verline, Askew, Sete Camera and Cassidy. Now it's time for run 2. So, Van Dorn goes through, Frines as well, Degrassi and Cassidy, the four going through. Eliminated, surprisingly as well, is Evans, Sims, Turvey, Dennis, Sete Camera, Verline and Askew as well. Brilliant. Now on to Group B. And the green light is on for Group B, which will see Vern, Mortara, Lotterer, De Vries, Da Costa, Bird, Boemi, Roland, Gunther, Ticktum and Giovinazzi head out there for another 12 minutes. Mortara, De Vries, Da Costa, Lotterer all through to the duels then. Out of the session, Vern, Roland, Gunther, Bird, Giovinazzi, Boemi and Ticktum. But Mortara goes through. The winner from yesterday is having a strong performance here today. Lotterer versus Van Dorn then in the first duel here for the quarter-final. Across the line, Lotterer does a 106.504. Here comes Stoffel Van Dorn. Van Dorn's been 2 tenths back all the way throughout the lap. Can he do anything to improve? No, 108. So 106.806. Lotterer wins the first duel. So, Da Costa versus Frines for quarterfinal G2. Da Costa in a 106.184. Frines across the line, goes faster by 14 thousandths of a second. A 106.170. Frines goes through to the semi-final, and he will face Lotterer. Brilliant. De Vries versus Degrassi then in duel number 3, and across the line is De Vries by 2 tenths. Degrassi lost a lot of time. De Vries goes through 106.238, fastest all 3 sectors. Degrassi 2 tenths off a 106.508. Across the line then, Cassidy versus Mortara in the final quarter-final duel. Cassidy at 106.377. Mortara 0.267 up. Mortara 106.110 and goes fastest and gets through to the semi-finals, which will see Lotterer versus Frines and De Vries versus Cassidy. So Lotterer on a lap time, he's gaining time because Frines made a mistake at turn 5. Lotterer was a 106.671. Frines across the line now. Does he go quicker? Oh, he does by a tenth. Frines goes to the final for Envision Virgin Racing. 106.522 for Envision Racing, I should say. Frines from Lotterer, brilliant time. De Vries versus Mortara then in semi-final number 2. De Vries' time at 106.285. Mortara is 3 tenths faster and does it. 0.388 faster. Mortara's through to the final at 105.897. It's Frines versus Mortara in the dual final here in Berlin. So it's Mortara versus Frines in the final. Across the line, Frines did a 106.470, but Mortara is fastest of all in Sector 1, fastest of all in Sector 2. Across the line, who's going to take pole in Berlin? Mortara does the double and takes pole in both Berlins. A 105.972. He is half a second faster than Robin Frines. Get in, Eduardo Mortara! Hello everybody, welcome back to Berlin. Sorry for the very short pre-race show, but we've just come off air literally from MotoGP. As Ed would know, because when he came into the commentary box, the TV pictures are on. But look who's back! Edward Hunter, after missing yesterday's race, is back for race 2. And we're on the, what do they call this one then, for the reverse track? It's not Berlin, is it? They've renamed it something silly.
Is it Nilreb, which is
Nilreb.
Berlin spelled back?
Welcome
in the official documents, it's called the Nilreb.
So welcome to the Nielreb circuit as well. It's still 2.355 kilometers.
You have to say it backwards as well.
Oh,
As if you were saying Berlin and someone had reversed the footage.
And it's action in I can't do it. I'll say action in Berlin.
Sounds almost like you're about to say New York, though. That's later on, Josh.
Yeah. Lights out in Berlin. I don't know if my voice can even do it. I don't even know how my voice is sticking at the moment. It's done the MotoGP. It's done the touring cars. Now Formula E is that the big one. It's going up. Did Casti get a penalty? He qualified 6th and now he's starting last overall. Yeah, he's standing there. So I haven't seen a penalty. Ed, I presume, have you seen one on the board?
I've not really been paying attention, if I'm being completely honest.
We'll double check for you, certainly. Yeah. Presumably, if it is a penalty applied as well, the steward's documents will have it and will pass it on. Let's just open up the driver tracker because it's opened up a little bit more since we were last here earlier on today for this race. And reminder, as I think finally we're going to come on air shortly for this one, and I think finally Megan's thing has just transferred over to my laptop as well, which means that we can have the timing screens for Moto E coming on as well. Yes, it did.
Yeah, well, I've got the Channel 4 Sport YouTube stuff on my phone, so I probably should actually get the thing up so you're not just seeing my little cars on my bed.
Out of interest then, we are going to get your spot on shortly as well, but they have been showing a highlight show of a race, so it hasn't really been all that exciting. Ed,
well,
you
I'm just looking
up
at Vern at the moment being interviewed on the grid.
You saw yesterday's, didn't you, Ed, I presume? What did you think of that race then? It was quite entertaining and dramatic with the loads of side-by-side action.
It was Mortara in control throughout, really, and it was really a matter of... I liked it in the end where he sort of dummied Vern into diving at the inside of him and just switched back on him. I thought that was very clever. And almost like... I felt a little bit like Mortara was trying to back Vern into Van Dorn because he sort of used fan boost to get past Van Dorn, which again sort of kind of feel like if we didn't have fan boost, it's weird because usually Van Dorn is always the one who wins fan boost, so it's interesting to see Vern use it to get ahead. I guess since they both had it and they just used it at different points in the race, it's sort of not completely unfair in this instance, but I can think of times in the past where a driver who hasn't had fan boost has been completely defenseless and it's been a kind of sort of one of those things. But qualifying I was really happy to see Alexander Sims do really well in quali. Even though he fell to 9th, still gets first points of the season, and he was sort of up against all those manufacturers. Mahindra were really up against it, so really they're sort of only got the 4th or 5th. Envision did really badly in and it was only early in the race that the Fry's able to get up to 12th, but because he started at the very, very back with Cassidy, that basically there was only going to be so far he could get to. So it was great to see him on the front row again, and trying to get his title hopes back alive. Tichita, Porsche both looked fairly strong in the previous race, so I expect Verline to make a few moves. I predicted Verline to win, but I don't think that's going to happen with him being so far down. He's got literally just too much ground to make up.
And speaking of which, Buemi yesterday as well, poor starts with the Bogdan, as we talked about as well, on the Grid Network. Do you reckon he's going to have a bad problem going forward? Oh, and Casti has been disqualified from qualifying, SHG has said as well. So, yeah, Casti was disqualified. That's probably
some infraction then.
Yeah. Something, and he's starting
probably
from the pit lane.
Power spike or something during quali where he went over the curb and it went over the 250 kilowatts, or whatever it is.
According to my timing screen, he's starting from the pit lane. So,
it could be another issue then as well. He got disqualified from qualifying, decided to go from the pit lane then, which makes sense, I guess, rather than from the back.
Saving
Especially
tires,
if there's like we remember what happened at this layout last time. It wasn't so kind to Mortara, was it?
No, it was not.
It wasn't really his fault because Evans stopped in front of him and he was unsighted. So.
And let's hope we don't have a staller today as well with the grid with Mortara.
Yeah, just saying on the graphic here that Francis, I think, had 12 Formula E podiums and one win, one pole position and 3 wins, I think, actually.
Blimey, is that many? Insane.
Yeah, I think. Let me see how many wins has Frines got.
Frines has had
one in Paris.
2 wins, Paris and New York.
Oh, two wins, not 3. I don't know where the extra win came from.
Today, probably. Now you've done Ed. He'll win today, and then Ed Hunter's predictions from the first race come true. Takes victory.
I changed. Like I said, I originally predicted Verline to win pre-qualifying.
You did,
but
yes.
That's the annoying thing because you have to do then Grid Network make you predict race 1 and 2. And I said, wait until qualifying for the first race and predict, I think Sims is going to win because he got on the front row. And then Sims dropped to 9th, which I should really have seen coming, I guess. But with Formula, it's very hard to predict because wouldn't have taken much for Mortara to lose it. Anyway, it looks like we're about to get going, Josh.
It's the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship, the halfway stage of Season 8, Round 8 of the campaign. It's the 2022 Berlin ePrix at the reverse track.
Of the Nilreb ePrix.
Thank you, Ed. I couldn't say that. I was hoping he would. So, this race last year, it was a start line crash. It red flagged the race and provided us with much drama. Let's go backwards to forwards for the starting grid. Nick Cassidy starts from the pit lane after being disqualified from qualifying. Oliver Askew is 21st. Dan Ticktum is 20th. Pascal Verlaine 19th. Sebastian Buemi, another bad qualifying start, 18th. Sergio Setecamera is 17th. Antonio Giovinazzi 16th. Jake Dennis is 15th. Sam Bird 14th. Oliver Turvey 13th. And all British row number 11. Then we get Max Gunther alongside Alex Sims for the top 10 roundup. Oliver Rowland starts 10th for Mahindra. After what we saw yesterday, he could have a very entertaining race. Further down, or further up I should say, Mitch Evans. He stalled on the grid last year. Watch out for him, not to get someone planned to the back of him. Starts 9th. Jean-Eric Verne, poor qualifying, starts 8th. Missed out on the duels as well. Can he get on the podium? Stoffel Van Dorn, 7th on the grid as well. Needs a better run. Lucas Degrassi starts 6th for Rocket Venturi. Demon at saving his energy yesterday. So was Antonio Felix da Costa. But attack modes were the primeval yesterday. Andre Lotterer, finally, still the bridesmaid. Can he become the bride today? Nick de Vries, bouncing back from a poor race yesterday for Mercedes, starts 3rd on the grid. Robin Frijns on the front row, only 2 race victories in his Formula E career. Starts alongside Eduardo Mortara, who yesterday took a 4th career win. He's back-to-back, took pole position yesterday, pole position today. And can he take victory in both of the races and do what only Mitch Evans has done this season of winning the double headers? There's Nick Cassidy starting from the pit lane. Turn 1 here, Ed. It's massively different towards the last corner we had yesterday. Yesterday, the last corner, it was a very tight entrance with an open exit. Now, turn 1, an open entrance with a very tight exit.
Yeah, indeed. So it's going to really change the dynamic, and it means that that what was previously the last corner becomes an overtaking opportunity, and what was previously the first corner is much harder to overtake in, basically. So you got to just think about everything in reverse, and also that the chicane that used to be turns sort of 3 and 4 is now sort of that's actually become an overtaking opportunity now as well at the end of that really long straight, because that's just after where attack mode is. So just sort of keep those in mind, and watch out for really watch out for the Porsches, the Tachitas, because they're going to be really aggressive, and Evans I think will be again saving energy, and it really feels like Sam Bird and a couple others are really being dropped out of the championship at the moment, so they really need to make progress here if they want to stay in the hunt.
They move forward from the dummy grid to the main grid, 4 grid slots forward. Eduardo Mortara will start on the left-hand side of the picture. On the right-hand side will be Robin Frijns. Green lights extinguished. All eyes then for 45 minutes plus 1 lap. 5 red lights in Berlin. And we go round around the roundabout. Good start for Mortara with Frijns alongside down towards turn 1. Who's going to get the inside line? Nick de Vries has come up from nowhere. He's going to take it into turn 1. He bashes Mortara once, bashes twice, and takes the lead.
and da Costa coming together at the first corner there, and that looks like Degrassi getting past both of them.
Brilliant start from Nick de Vries, up into 3rd position as well as we head into what was turn 9. Now it's turn 2 at the hairpin. The wrong direction we go, and de Vries with a demon start leads the opening lap here. So far, Mortara down into 2nd position, and Sims as well going side by side. Van Dorn trying to go side by side with da Costa. It's all action already, Ed.
Exactly. Turvey made a good start. He's going side by side with Gunther there. And oh, look at this.
Whoa,
right there. It's all coming really tight then. One of the Neos, I think that's Turvey squeezing through again.
Turvey diving through, but Dennis up to 12th. Turvey's going to head Cassidy, a 10-second penalty for stop-go. Stewart's decision number 3, so that must be the problem he had in the race as Sims and Rowland getting past now with Dennis in the middle.
I think he might be getting the penalty for contact, was it with Degrassi in the first race? We didn't see it on screen, so that must be why he's starting from the pit lane.
So De Vries leads the opening lap of the race, as well as my voice has completely gone. The opening
and of
lap.
course, this De Vries won here the championship here last season with that 6th or 7th place finish, if I remember correctly. I think it was 7th because he got taken near the end. Yeah, Robin Freins still putting pressure on Mortara, and it's certainly going to be a much trickier job now for Mortara to make it 2 from 2, because Nick De Vries has got that same powertrain at his disposal. And look at the train forming behind behind the two of them, of Freins, Lotterer, De Grassi, De Costa, Van Dorn as well. We saw the progress Van Dorn made yesterday. He's just biding his time behind De Costa at the moment and holding up Vern. So, yeah, there we go. But I think Mortara is going to make a move sooner rather than... He may not even wait for attack mode here, because he did look so quick in qualifying. But it was a superb getaway by Nick De Vries, and he once again showing his racecraft. And so it'll be such a shame if Nick De Vries isn't here next season in Gen 3.
Absolutely. Because, McLaren taking over, of course.
Yeah, but neither him nor Stoffel Van Dorn are really popular because they both dropped by McLaren, weren't they?
Yes, so, they were, both of them, during the
wouldn't
career.
be the first time. Is that Mortara on the radio?
It's Mortara on the radio, yeah.
So giving a few codes there.
As,
so definitely, it looks like he's dropped a little bit behind De Vries, so he's sort of settling in and biding his time. We saw how efficient that Venturi was. Is De Vries going to do to Mortara what we saw Mortara do to everyone else yesterday?
Hopefully so.
Stay at the front, hold the pack up. Well, from Nick De Vries, he's another guy who really needs to gain in the championship, because Van Dorn has really made a break for it in the last couple of races. Vern as well.
Well, on board with
Nick De Vries has kind of been dropped.
On board with Robin Freins then at the moment then. Third place, trying to close down Eduardo Mortara. Nick De Vries has got a 4/10 advantage as they enter what is the only same part of the track. Turn 6, the hairpin at that part as well, where the attack mode is on the outside now. Yesterday,
I think
it was on the right, now to the left.
It's basically identical because their attack modes are in the same position, but it's in the original it was turn 5. Here it's turn 6. I think there's a sort of extra corner technically.
Oh yeah, the turn 3, isn't it? Yeah.
Anyway, let's look at the start again. So Nick De Vries is on the inside. Remember, he had that. He did really well to avoid Mortara in the last start.
0-0 for
opens
Echo.
up, doesn't it? And once he got up the inside, he could really just slot his car in. There wasn't much Mortara could do there. So yeah, they almost parted like the Red Sea there.
That was beautiful start from everybody. This is on board with Andre Lotterer then. Started 5th. Fourth, I should say. Yeah, coming up alongside. Now, just
you see Freins is almost thinking about defending, and then he tries to go around the outside, but then suddenly he's offline. Freins was really lucky that Lotterer didn't dive up the inside there, and Lotterer really sort of pushed De Costa wide.
Yeah, it's De Grassi on the outside,
Yeah, it's De Grassi, yes, he's going around the outside of him.
And De Costa's on the inside, Yeah,
Lotterer again has a go at Freins. But he's only just about able to. That's the thing, you sort of have to go for dives like that in the first lap, because otherwise you find like De Grassi would have overtaken him there on the outside.
Some fantastic running then here for the Grand Prix of Berlin, the ePrix.
The ePrix, yeah.
And
look at that, 4 British drivers in a row. Roland Dennis, Sims Turvey.
That is beautiful.
13th, all in the fight for the final point. It's only Bird who's not part of the fight, really.
So nearly won Eurovision yesterday, but we don't talk about it. Ukraine were the rightful winners with the public vote, but I think every British person would still say, well, we topped the group stages. We topped the judges' scores, and then the people's vote.
Topping the group stages doesn't mean anything in this. I mean, who topped the group stages in quali?
Van Dorn, Group A, and Mortara, Group B.
Yeah, well, Van Dorn is down in 7th, so that shows what that's worth.
Shows it does, yeah. And Mortara might just do it, but then again, I think he topped yesterday as well, actually.
Van Dorn really just messed up his first lap in the duel, didn't he? And got beaten by...
Massively so, yeah.
Victor Lima 4.
Victor Lima 4 for Mortara over the radio, so more covert operational skills being taught.
I wonder if Venturi and Mercedes might be using similar codes, given the powertrain at their disposal, because they both know sort of how to work the hardware. But then again, they might have developed different software for it, so I guess we'll never know.
Radio.
Both radios.
241.
241. So that's another one. As Sete Camera has passed Verline for 17th and 18th positions on the circuit, as well as they continue to come through. This is going to be an absolute barnstormer, not a cloud in the sky here in Berlin. We're on the 5th lap.
It's certainly a much warmer day than yesterday.
Yeah,
and that's affected the track temp as well. It means that the tyres are going to... It means you've got to keep those tyres alive a little bit later in the race as well. You don't want to chew through them at this phase, because the heat will really just... It's going to cause all the marbles to stick offline as well. Even though I believe they did sweep it from yesterday a little bit. As look at this, Evans having a go at Vern, because Vern has dropped off the back of Van Dorn now. This is battle for
massively.
8. And Roland joining the party as well.
November Delta, Charlie 5 Yankee.
And Roland's going to bring Dennis and Sims with him because they were quite close together as well on the back half of the track. So this is all still to play for here in Berlin as they come through. Now, watching further back, Sete Camera has taken attack mode, and attack mode is a little different here today as well. It's one single activation for 8 minutes. So it's like what we saw in Berlin.
London.
Yeah, the London race 2.
London as well,
yeah, London race 2, Berlin race 2 as well. It's that activation, so it's one attack mode for in 8 minutes at a time.
And
so
that's why Sede Camara was able to breeze
Yeah.
past Verline then, because he went in quite early. So Sede Camara, after I think he had a decent qualifying, he didn't have a great start though, and he sort of dropped back. No, he didn't. He qualified sort of just ahead of Ticton, didn't he?
and you'll be
And
really
I think
careful with
Giovinazzi
the
actually had a
safety
decent
car. Yeah.
qualifying because he was right behind Bird, wasn't he?
He was right behind Bird, yeah, and you've got to
And
be,
he had an awful.
yeah.
He was the one who had an awful start because he did last, apart from Cassidy, who's had to serve his extra drive through now.
And you've got to be
Turvey's
really,
still holding off Buemi. I feel like Turvey and Buemi have been battling all season for like the minor points.
They've been rubbish practically this year already. Buemi doesn't like the car.
Yeah, it was funny. After Rome, they did the little post-race interview with the top 10 where they all did the Gogglebox or ePrix pile thing, as I called it. And I thought it was hilarious how Buemi, they were talking about Buemi in front of him, and Turvey's like, "Oh, I think this is the lap where Buemi hit me," and he said, "Yeah, because you messed up the corner." And Turvey was like, "Oh, I didn't notice that," and then Buemi was like, "Yeah, you created a mess behind you, man." And then Turvey's like, "Oh, really?" I just love all of his attitude. He's just so relaxed.
It's disappeared, that hasn't it? It was in Rome, and it's disappeared. And yet all the garages that were in Rome have been brought to Berlin. So all the season 9 garages.
Well, I think maybe they realised it didn't really work because you couldn't really see what they were watching. And Formula 1 tried a similar thing. Was it after? They related trying a similar thing where they just watched the TV.
When was it? Imola. After Imola. Week after, yeah. Week after.
I think the problem is they always make fun of him when they try and do silly things like that.
Yeah.
And,
then they go, "Oh, what a good idea! We'll copy them."
Anyway, it's. I think we can worry about that post-race. We've still got the race going on.
Yes,
It's been a bit quiet so far. As
Bird
actually gets by Gunther.
I think we're a bit low on charge. Can the bop go later?
And there we go. We finally got all 5 British drivers all in a row, 10th to 14th, Josh.
Brilliant! We'll take that.
Bird has got up there. There we go.
We'll take that, absolutely.
The problem is pretty much all of them drive for different teams.
Well, Sete Camera.
Tictum's down in 20th, actually. Oh!
Sete Camera making the move on the inside of Gunther, and he's done it. Shuts the door on him.
Was that Mortara saying hello?
I think it was Mortara, yeah. So,
oh, Evans on Vern.
Whoa, that's a late one into the chicane area down at turn 7 and 8. Now that's a good switchback, and Evans goes through.
Well judged by Mitch Evans, actually. He didn't have attack mode to help him out that time as they go by the big boss balloon.
Apparently, that's going to get set off later after the race. With the winning driver.
It's going to explode.
No, the winning driver's going to get in it, and they're going to put it up in the air.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
up and away, and all the way to Jakarta.
Yeah. Oh, and on the inside, Roland on Vern, into turn 1.
Yeah, Vern really struggling then.
Well, this is a surprise for Vern. He usually does very good in race 2
I
of
wonder
events.
if he's saving energy.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit too much.
November.
And more energy saving on for Mortara.
Okay, we have 1% sock, 0.5% more sock than the race in front of you.
So Mortara's,
so state of charge is about 0.5 better than De Vries.
So that's crucial, because yesterday they were all hitting zeros.
That shows Mortara is driving conservatively, and De Vries goes for attack mode.
And that's too crucial, as does Van Dorn. So De Vries, Da Costa, and Van Dorn. Yeah, so they all take attack mode. So that's De Vries dropping
Mortara
the
back
lead.
in the lead from Frines.
So De
No,
Vries
keep like that for the moment.
led 8 laps.
Keep like that for the moment.
So
okay, so is Frines going to hold up De Vries now, is the big question.
We're going to have to find out quite quickly, because this is going to be a nail-biter if it is going to be that situation. Keep your fingers crossed.
And it sounded on the radio like they were saying it, Mortara's thinking about, do I go for attack? And he said, and the engineer said, no, stay out.
Well, it's too early. If you go for attack now, you're just going to waste it. As Degrassi launches up the inside of Lotterer, that's an attack move, not an attack move, I should say. And that's
if he
for
goes for attack
place.
mode now, then he's guaranteed to come out behind. But yeah, Degrassi finally clears Lotterer.
And this is Vern across the start.
7, Alpha Mike Lima.
Into turn 1, locked up.
Okay, Nick in attack mode for information.
And
Mitch Evans did not need a second invitation. Oh no, I think that was just before then.
just before, yeah. Where is
I've spin the
Vernon?
lap before, so I'm not sure why they were showing us that. 'Cause
Oh,
all that
Fries!
interesting is Prine's going for it. That's interesting.
And Lotterer. That's interesting too. So Lotterer's decided that this is the moment to go for it. He comes out side by side with Stoffel Van Dorn and Evans too.
S'il te plaît. Change de voie.
And Lotterer is trying to go around the outside of Da Costa. Now that's the problem. That all three of them are stuck in attack mode and they're all stuck together. That's never any handiness. Lotterer, though, might be good to get ahead of Da Costa for 5th at least, because he's going to have extra power for another, what, minute 10? Minute 9?
Did Frines miss attack mode? Because it's not showing him having it on the graphic.
Frines missed it. He must have missed attack mode. Yeah, it's not on my timing screen either. Frines missed attack mode. He never got it, so he earned it.
Oh, well, there goes my prediction for the win.
Oh.
Well, at least he's still in the race. We don't know what could happen in the next half hour.
I like Commander Shaw.
But there we go. Anyway, Mortara now really at the mercy of De Vries, who's got 6 minutes left. And is that Mortara talking?
Yeah, Mortara's on the radio saying, do we go for attack mode, De Vries?
He said Bravo 5 kilo.
He looked like he was pretty much in it. Must have been right at the end.
So that was De Vries on the radio, and Jack Nicholls was talking over as this goes De Vries on the move for Mortara, down at the hip, and they make contact, rear diffuser, damage for De Vries, and Mortara's front wing will be damaged too.
It didn't look too damaged. I think he just wobbled off it. It's pretty sturdy stuff at the back there.
Evans takes attack mode, and Roland gets ahead of him. He comes out ahead of Verd, and that's Bohemian problems as well as he's taking attack
I think that was
mode.
Gunther going for it for attack mode and sort of having to back off as he rejoined the field.
So it's De Vries who takes the lead again here in Berlin for the second time today. Only lost 2 laps officially led.
Well, the important thing now from Mortara's point of view is to make sure De Vries doesn't sprint ahead. He's still got 5 minutes of attack mode left. So he needs to make sure when he goes into attack mode, he can close the gap back up. As here comes Da Costa on Frines. Frines is defenseless here, I think.
Yeah, and Frines does, well, Da Costa nearly ran into the back of Degrassi as well. He was running in 3rd place. A little bit of too much to turn 1. And Da Costa takes 4th. Now Frines going to have to go for attack mode again, but risk being stuck behind Lotto and Van Dorn and Roland and Evans too.
Romeo Echo 3 Mike Mike.
Romeo Echo Mike. Check. What was it?
Tree
1, 2,
Tree
3,
Mike Bike.
Tree Mike Bike. Oh dear me. So that's TMB. So as they come through, set of camera is out of attack mode. So that 8 minutes and the single attack is gone. And who's this? Roland going for attack mode? No, it's. Oh, it was Roland. It was Roland.
De Vries is in multi-2 map 1, so he'll try to underconsume under attack mode.
Try to underconsume. Okay. So that's Mortara's radio, yeah.
So that's often the thing is De Vries has got to the lead now, so he doesn't really need to use outright pace at this point, to be honest. So what they're saying is he's going to try and underconsume, so he's not wasting energy using the attack mode.
Gunther's past Derby.
If he does that, then potentially Mortara could just close back in on him really quickly when he goes for attack mode himself, and he'll have more energy to boot. So here comes Lotterer up the inside of Frines, so Frines will just continue to drop. But this could still work out for Frines because he'll get to use his attack mode a bit later now.
Yeah, they've all gone.
He just doesn't have the track position that he did earlier.
They've all gone way too early in the race, within the first 15 minutes. Yeah, they've all gone way too early in the first 15 minutes.
Standing a bit heated on Mortara's radio. I think they're worried about Da Costa behind. He's still got 3 minutes left.
And he's right on. Look at that. Coming out of turn number... where was that?
Behind you in attack mode.
Coming out of turn 3 and 4, which is identical to the exit 7 and 8.
I think you knew that. But there we go. That's Van Dorn getting by Frines as well.
Frines now dropped to the back anyway, so he may as well take attack mode.
I wonder
in the
if
next 3
Robin
minutes.
Frines is backing off at the moment.
Oh, Da Costa.
There goes Da Costa up the inside, so not really much of a contest there.
Takes Mortara.
The problem is he went in at the same time as De Vries, so he's going to run out at the same time as well. So unless he's got way more pace. Degrassi's slotted in right behind his teammate now.
There's nothing.
So Venturi will have to manage this very intelligently then.
The one problem is there's nothing that they can do now. They can't just jump back ahead.
For attack mode for Da Costa.
And look at that gap between...
Oh, Lotto on the inside of Degrassi. So the two best mate... No, hang on.
Are they?
No.
I thought it was Jev and
it's Jev.
best mate.
Don't know where my brain was going on that. I think I'm on too much paracetamol.
Vern is down in 10th, still behind Roland at the moment.
And
so,
there goes Van Dorn. Diving on the inside with a tight mode on Degrassi. Down at turn 2.
Van Dorn just following Lotto through then at this point.
Yeah, just after you. No, after you, my friend. It's all fair.
And I think Evans
war.
and Roland are going to be catching up to Frines pretty soon as well. So yeah, he's doing pretty well on energy though, so it's not a completely disaster.
Degrassi and
there we
Frines.
go. He's going to second time lucky for Robin Frines, hopefully.
Yep, he's got it.
There we go.
But problem is,
he
so
must
did
be
Degrassi.
so frustrated with that first to go. Although I'm not sure the Envision really would have had the pace to win. But we'll never know now, I guess.
Sadly not. And as they come through, Degrassi has taken the attack mode coming in as well, as we're on lap number 14 of this race. We've got 28 minutes plus one lap
very
to go.
disgruntled looking Buemi, trying to go round the outside, kicking up a bit of plastic. Oh, Turvey's only left just enough room there. He's going to try and almost spin him round.
Yeah, and he does.
Very dramatic slow-mo, and Turvey, cat-like reflexes, just about gets it back under control. And Askew having to swirl around in the background. But Buemi, I said Turvey and Buemi have been fighting over the minor points all season.
Now,
and Buemi has subsequently got through, of course.
X-ray Papa Victor 5 whiskey.
Okay, we have 1% more than 2% more than Da Costa and De Vries in front of you. 1% and a half, sorry. 1% and a half. Lauterer behind you in attack mode. 3 minutes remaining for Lauterer behind you.
So they're
Mortar takes
convinced.
attack mode,
There we
yeah.
go. Here goes Mortar into attack mode then. So they are convinced that they've got better state of charge, that
Yeah.
they've got better energy, and that if they can make up the ground, and he's only got to wait a minute for the leaders to run out of attack mode, and Lotter has still got 2 minutes left as well, so he could be a bit of a problem for Mortara.
This could be good fun now as they come through. Now can Lotterer close up? He's 3 seconds away from De Vries at the front, so they need to close that in as well. But this is turning into another dramatic race here in Berlin.
The problem that that Mortara's got now
Okay,
is that
we
he's got
push to green code. Push to green code. Push to green code.
push the green card.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, sure.
I don't know who wants to marry, but I think you can stay in Berlin if you're a member of Europe. As we see a bit of a lock up there from Van Dorn as he tried to pass Lotterer. And they're both on attack. Remember, Van Dorn's going to run out, so he's pushing extra hard. Lotterer, like an annoying...
Well, Van Dorn knows he's
staying
going to be
in.
overtaking Mortara. But the problem is Mortara's got 4 cars ahead of him.
Okay,
but
1
3
minute
before he can get to De
remaining.
Vries.
So 2 minutes remaining
Nicky
for
Shields in the
Lauterer,
pits.
1 minute for Van Dorn in front of you.
Jean-Eric Verne dropped down the order a little bit earlier on, and there are no issues with the car. He actually
about
seems
John?
quite content over the team radio, and really their strategy is
seems
to
quite
wait for everyone to use their attack mode and to use it as late as possible. Clearly he's just gone into attack mode now, but that is very much his strategy, and they believe that they can climb up the order with that in place.
So that,
Well, I
that's
think
thinking-
Dennis is actually the one going really late for attack mode. Him and Sims are sort of on a similar strategy here. Bird as well. In fact, Vernus has got by Dennis using his attack mode.
So
Dennis is the highest runner in 11th who's not gone for it yet.
So
So I think,
Vern's down in 10th position. He thinks that he can get it back up there, but I don't think he will. All eyes now on Lotto. Another 30 seconds to go. He's closed in on these two at the front. Gap now 2.9 to De Vries. But he's lost it. Lotto can't do it. And that's him done. Unless there's a safety car.
Mortar and Degrassi, I think, are going to try and move through this pack together.
Yeah.
And you look, Frines hasn't actually lost that much
No more
time.
attack mode for Van Dorn.
But
X-ray
he
five
has got a minute
Delta
less of
5
attack mode,
Romeo.
though, than Mortara.
This is getting a very strategy-based race once again as Verline passes Dennis as
Well, it has
well.
got physical on occasion.
Yes, it has, yeah. And it's Cassidy's penalty still. Haven't had the fan boost winners come up just yet, and we're more than 15 minutes into the race.
Oh, who cares?
Yeah, don't need it, but when as
Well,
far
I
as
mean, it
there
only
is-
affected the
So
end
Sims-
because the
Sorry,
Jeff was
yeah.
able to use it. Oh,
Sims has dropped down to 19th. Has he touched the wall? Or has he taken
possibly.
attack mode?
I hope that's not a safety car.
He's taken
He
attack mode.
hadn't used attack mode, so
Yeah.
yeah, that would make sense because it was quite a bunched pack down there. Bird, Sedicamera, Turvey ahead of him.
And
I
if we
think
take a
Bird
look,
hasn't
yeah.
gone for it yet either. So Dennis and Bird are the ones going quite late on attack mode. They might even wait till the last 10 minutes or so.
Evans is about to run out of attack mode as well. He's losing down Mortar Radio.
Van Dorn, attention.
And there
Van
goes
Dorn
Van
and
Dorn.
Lotterer.
Nice move into one. Lotterer
Or they
can't
can't
get
fight
back.
too much because Mortara's still got that attack mode, and I'd expect him to make more progress, but he's still got just under 5 minutes left. But it's going to be difficult. Even to get on the podium here will be very tricky for Ido Mortara
Victor
now.
945 November.
That was Mortar on the radio as well. He's got his teammate Degrassi right behind him as well. Evans runs out of attack mode now with only 5 seconds left. So and Gunther's only got 10 left, so he runs out of it. So does Boemi. Evans is now out of it, and Evans is
Mortara's got to
stuck.
try and get the run down the straight here on Lotterer. Here we go. Let's see if Andre defends here. And we're
Okay,
riding on
do
board with
end lap
Frines.
-1,
And
but
look, side by side
end
goes
lap -1,
Mortara
but
on the
end lap
outside of Lotterer. And he
Whoa.
sweeps ahead before the turn 6 and 7 chicane.
Nice move, and there we got the fan boost. Jake Dennis takes the attack mode as well. So fan boost, 5 drivers awarded it. 1 5-second power boost, 250 watts, can only be used once in the second half of the race. I know you don't like it, Ed, but do you want to read out the winners for us?
Okay, well, we've got De Vries, Da Costa, Van Dorn, top 3 all with fan boost. Lotterer's got it as well, as does Verne. So. Oh, there we go. Mortara makes another move on Lotta. Or was that
Oh,
Degrassi getting
Frines was way out of shape. Nearly hit the back of, was that Lotta? Who was that?
It is Lotta, yes. So
Lotta,
that's Degrassi who's just past him. And Frines up the inside into turn 2.
Nicely done.
Yes,
And there we go. Lotta gave just enough space there. And Frines back up to 6th position, sorry, and free to follow the two Venturis as they try and battle to get their way back on the podium. Now they've got Van Dorn ahead of them next. So I think Mortara should have an easy go at him, but Da Costa could be a bigger problem because there's a little bit of a gap there. Here comes Mortara up the inside.
Late on the brakes.
And there we go. You saw Van Dorn getting out of the power there. There's no point fighting that one.
Mortara just went, over the radio, and it went coming into that corner as well. So I think he didn't.
He was a bit worried. I don't think he realized quite late that Van Dorn was just going to let him through there.
Yeah, I didn't think he
Comment avec l'énergie, s'il te plaît?
For the moment, I don't have energy on the TV.
Oh,
he wants to know the energy of
yeah.
Da Costa and De Vries ahead of him.
1.5% more than De Vries.
Costa starting to defend on the end of the straight.
And it's all Dodgem cars into turn 1 as well as Van Dorn and
Degrassi having a go at Van Dorn.
Same than Lucas behind you.
It looks like Degrassi almost hit the back of Van Dorn there, and De Vries got a little bit of a gap, and Degrassi up the inside of Stoffel Van Dorn.
Makes the
into
move.
hairpin. There we go. That was clinical there.
Papa Foxtrot.
And looking at this as well, Frines and Degrassi only got 1 minute 19 left each of attack mode, but crucially as well, as we're on wide with Eduardo Mortara, he's going to take Da Costa into turn number 6 as well, out the inside line, and Frines at the same time passes Van Dorn for 5th position.
Yeah, I'll tell you who's been quietly impressive. Roland has
Look
got
at
ahead of
Mortara.
Evans in 8th
Mortara
position.
pulls round
And
the
Mortara
outside.
on the outside of Da Costa. He's still got 2 minutes of attack mode left, so the win's still on.
He's got him. Into second place goes Eduardo Mortara. Nick De Vries is only 2.7 seconds ahead of him, and he has got 1% more of energy. So that 0.5 we heard earlier on in the race has come back to play.
There we go. It looks like almost 1.5 seconds the gap there, so he really needs to get a move on. Because 1 minute 44, that's going to go quickly. And Degrassi now looking at the back of Da Costa and going up the inside as they approach the first corner. Da Costa backs up very, very early.
Trying to get the cut back, surely,
too much because Frines has still got about 30 seconds left of attack mode, so he could still have a dive at the inside into turn 2. And Da Costa gets defensive, puts Frines onto the outside.
Victor
So Robin Frines. That missed attack mode, he'll come to rue that because he could have been right in between Mortara and Degrassi without that.
Degrassi and Frines into the last 10 seconds of the attack mode. This is Frines' last opportunity to get ahead of Antonio Felix Da Costa. He dives bombs into turn number 6 as well at the hairpin and just gets ahead as the attack mode runs out. Brilliant attack there. But now,
will Da Costa get a good run out because he'll know Frines is out of attack mode.
And
Here we go.
Da Costa's got fan boost too.
De Vries 2.7 seconds.
Da Costa's got a fan boost to activate as well. Mortara's into the last 50 seconds, and he has only gained 7/10 to De Vries. So De Vries has pulled out a 2-second gap. Now it's 1.9, so it is closing in quite quickly.
This is looking like a very, very good afternoon for Venturi. They've worked together well to get both their cars onto the podium. Can they steal the win as well? As Mortara sits fastest lap in his last 30 seconds of attack mode.
This is action beyond belief. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. Whereas Mortara runs out, gap now 1.5. Mortara has just done the fast lap of the race, a 1:08.165 on the board.
X-ray November, Romeo Papa 9.
Okay, no more attack mode for Lucas behind you. 1 minute remaining for you.
Oh, that sounds like quite a delayed message because he's just about to run out now.
Yeah, so that one was delayed, which is unfortunate as they come through again now. Down the back straight. Into the braking zone, with Eduardo Mortara, and
there
now
we go. See,
1.4.
Wasn't quite able to catch. He's got the gap down to 1.5 because it was about 2 earlier.
Okay, for information,
But,
every car
it's going to be down to energy then for Mortara
Yeah.
if he wants to win this thing.
Sadly, it looks like it.
De Vries, l'énergie, s'il te plaît.
1% more SOC than De Vries, so you have more energy than De Vries.
You have more energy than De Vries still.
So yeah, he's remembering when the graphic came up and it said he was on 50 and De Vries was on 49 a couple laps ago.
Just
In fact,
properly.
that's literally how they do it, Josh. You may laugh, but it's literally how they do it because they don't have telemetry. They literally rely on the graphics. As I think that was Verline's got up to 12th now.
Verline is up to 12th, yeah, so that's good stuff from him.
Gunther, yeah.
I'm really starting to hope that we get to see a grandstand finish like we did yesterday as well. That all closed in within the last 9 minutes of the race, where everyone was so heads up on the energy.
Well, I think De Vries has got fan base. He's going to try and use it at some point.
Oh, side by side! McLaren, that was Mercedes, sorry. Trying to go the inside of Da Costa.
Yeah.
It's Van Dorn trying to pass Da Costa, yeah. it's not McLaren just yet. It's Mercedes still. And that was a dive bomb.
That was quite a late attempt by Van Dorn. I don't think we saw the beginning of that, but it felt like Da Costa just left the door open and had to shut it quite quickly.
Nice stuff going on here at the moment. Here.
And Dennis, going into his late attack mode, has actually used it quite well. He's chasing down Vern. 2 minutes left of his attack mode. Could steal the final point here, Jake Dennis.
I really hope Dennis could steal that last point because he had a good race yesterday and it was a bit down in the dumps this morning. So I like Jake Dennis. He's having a good season.
Jonah, it seems that the Andretti's not pretty decent. It was pretty decent in qualifying. They've not really had the rub of the green lately, have they?
Sadly. I mean...
Yeah, we sort of Buemi sort of squeezed him in the wall at the end of Monaco to the sort of over-defensive because Buemi was desperate to get a few points.
You've reminded me of what I wanted to ask you is you see a drone flying across the track there. A question that I've got...
6 Zulu.
Let's F1 freeze.
Happy with the current pacing consumption. Doing a good job.
Yeah, so it sounds like Mercedes think they've got it under control, and then Venturi keep having to say to Mortara, oh, you've got 0.5 SOC state of charge. You're better at your car's more efficient, your driving's more efficient at least.
Do you reckon the only reason Buemi was as fast at the start of Formula E is because he had just come from Formula 1? That he was
I
one
don't
of the
think
young
that had
bloods.
anything to do with it. I actually think his experience in endurance probably helped him more than his experience in F1.
So
I think Buemi's just a very, very quick driver, and I think the Nissan, having not been developed this season, and it started going wrong last season when he had chassis issues, and they've not redeveloped it this season. Here we go. This is the late move from Van Dorn.
Whoa.
Has the inside. Oh, just about. Yeah, the Costa didn't really squeeze the door. He just tried to use the grip on the outside to hold on.
Across the start line we go, and Mortara getting told more information as he holds off. Gap now 2.4 seconds between De Vries and Mortara.
So Bryant is now doing pretty well to hold on to fourth position because Da Costa looks very, very racy behind him.
Where's he going to look? Oh, we had to think.
6-9 November Zulu.
That zooming
he needs to make sure he
angle,
still gets the traction on the exits here because he could be really vulnerable if he's used up more of his tyre life earlier on. And that mistake in attack mode, like I said, Frines will rue that. He's still driven well despite that mistake, but it's what's really let Degrassi get by him and lost the podium.
Da Costa trying to look through on the inside at turn 5 and 6, not working out. Now he's using his fan boost as well to try and get the run down towards the turn 7 chicane, pulls the inside line.
Frines doesn't defend the inside.
That was super tight, and Da Costa goes through. That's what fan boost can do. It's like a push to pass.
Well, except if you're popular enough to win it, then yeah, I get. Or you've got enough bots that vote for you.
Yeah, I wonder how many are actually
that's,
real, and not just the computer software spamming things.
But anyway, Da Costa up to 4th, ahead of Robin Frines, and Frines has now got to hold off Van Dorn for 5th. He wants to finish in the top 5.
Big lunge from Van Dorn.
Big switch, and Roland up the inside of Lotterer.
Nicely done into turn 1, and Lotterer nearly chops off the front wing again, but now Frines is on the back of Van Dorn as well, not wanting to get the position back. And
looks like they both defended, Roland and Van Dorn.
25 laps complete.
Roland up to 7th. Given the season that Mahindra have had so far, they've not really finished in the top 7 so far. I think the best was top 8 Interior or something like that Roland got.
Was top 6
this will certainly be a big opportunity here because he could maybe even get past Frines here if he plays his cards right. But De Vries 34%, Mortara 30%. Actually, it's sort of nip and tuck between the two. They're both sort of on 35 when they go lift and coast and regen in the braking zones.
And I'm just having a think as well because...
Okay, compared to De Vries, minimum speed in turn 4.
Combat minimum speed in turn 4. Minimum race speed in turn 4. Interesting. Having a look on the timing graphics as well, you've got to remember that Mortara has got the fastest lap here, so that bonus point will be going to him. And he's actually quicker in all 3 sectors to De Vries across it. Now it just changes as they cross the line to start lap 27.
I believe Turvey is the last to go into attack mode, down in 18th position, trying to chase down Alex Sims.
Yeah, everyone else has taken it.
Alpha 9 November Victor.
That's Mortara's radio. We'll switch to De Vries in the last couple laps. Bird, for the first time we've mentioned him here today, gets through to 14th place, past Sebastian Buemi. Poor Sam Bird is having a weekend to forget. He's just been nowhere. As Van Dorn's got a good lunge, and he dives on the inside, and gets ahead of Antonio Felix da Costa. And now Frines coming into play too.
Really well judged there by Van Dorn. Almost seemed to catch Da Costa napping, but Da Costa's still there in the slipstream. He might pull out to the left. but he's not going to do it on this occasion. So there we go. Stoffel Van Dorn gets up to 4th and could potentially close in on Degrassi before this race is over.
Desperately trying to find places too as well, as apologies for coughing, as they come through. Sorry if I deafened you there, Ed, by the way.
No, don't apologise. I barely noticed it.
Ah, good. As they come through. Now, watch this battle down the start-finish straight, because they are really going to push as hard as they can into turn number 1 as well, because Van Dorn's going to go defensive. Da Costa will close in. I thought Roland might have had a look. He was the closest of the 4 on the inside of Frines, but nothing down there. Lotto's joined the party. This is Van Dorn.
Oh, Roland on Frines up the inside into turn 2, and Frines once again shuffled out. And really, it's not gone the plan for him. But I think even if he hadn't missed that attack mode, I think he would have struggled, to be honest. And Roland having a really, really strong run up to the top 6 now. He just needs to make sure he doesn't blow it like he did in Monaco.
We've opened up Van Dorn's radio to try and catch what we just missed with that overtake, because obviously overtakes take priority over radio. Here we go.
Race is now option B. Option B. Let's use this free space.
So that's Van Dorn being told to use the free space. Yeah, go on.
So that's basically pushed to build a gap to the Costa then. So I guess option A was stay behind the Costa.
Yeah. We've opened up.
Like
forward.
That's Edo.
Some kind of discussion going on at Porsche as well, we're seeing on screen.
Oh.
Looks like...
so, should we, who's the lead Porsche? It'll be Lotterer.
It's definitely Lotterer. So I think it's... there's sort of... I think there might be a reaction to expecting Lotterer to try and make a pass on Frines. Verline's had a decent recovery, it must be said, but... with Dennis having that late attack mode, he's still 1.6 behind him. I guess because Lotterer and Frines is the closest battle on track, 0.4 between the two.
So, well, we've opened up Lotterer's radio in case we hear anything from him on the driver tracker. So this is Lotterer's radios we're going to hear now as we watch him on board with the Porsche, with the Stronger together. Porsche are staying for season 9, aren't they? Or are they leaving? I can't remember.
They are, yes. They've committed all the way through to 2025, 2026, I think.
Oh, brilliant.
Season 11 or 12.
Yeah.
I mean, they could change their mind before then. We'll have to see if they stay for Gen 4 as well with all the F1 rumours. But there's no reason, especially if they've designed everything for Gen 3 already, and they're customers to Andretti as well. So if they pulled out, that would be bad news for Andretti.
Do you think...
It sounds like it's a long-term deal.
Do you think, by the way, that we should get rid of these seasons arc? Because it's a bit bizarre.
Well, if they all happen in the same year, we should just literally... Yeah, it's
Juliet, hotel uniform.
Hotel uniform?
Oh, dear. HU.
Different codes at Porsche to the ones I was just getting used to. Whiskey.
Yeah,
Tango India in the Venturi
with Mortal Edo, yeah.
And now Porsche have a completely different lexicon.
As with Lotto's radio as well, we'll make it even more confusing soon because we'll open De Vries's radio when you're into the last 10. Now, Turvey, Tictum's taking attack mode, as is Giovinazzi.
Lima Whiskey 5-3.
That's actually Tictum and Giovinazzi are the last to use it then.
Yeah.
Turvey not able to catch up to Sims, it would seem. Verline and Bird having a little battle.
Hang on a minute.
Excellent.
We're being told attack mode time left, and it says De Vries has got 2. That's not right. They've opened up 2 different graphics on the screen there.
Yeah.
Energy. So 25
then
for everyone.
for the 2 leaders. Apart from Degrassi, actually on just slightly below Mortara, I think.
Yeah,
Or
he's 24.5, isn't he? Everyone's managing that one. France is on 26.
The Degrassi could be a little bit marginal towards the end, but looks like they're all doing about enough.
We start to lose contact to the car in front, so let's see if we can clear efficiently Frines.
I have no pace, man. I am acceleration.
So Lotter is sort of
So far.
doing so well in qualifying. He's using fan boost.
To try and pass Frines, and I don't think he's going to have it.
Reminder on the fan boost.
Yeah, reminder of the fan boost. So it says use it before you lose
I think
energy.
Andre had forgotten that he had it because he so rarely has fan boost these days, or ever, to be honest. And
and he's
he's
trying
on the outside though, so Frines has defended this one quite well.
Well
and
done,
Roland is all
Frines.
over the back of the Costa as well.
That's Lotto on the radio, breathing heavily. It's an obscene phone call from Andre Lotto as it comes to... You think he's left the mic on? That is literally him breathing on the track.
Same energy that car around.
But anyway, Da Costa
okay. That's hypnotic.
really haven't get the stops out. It's an interesting to see Mahindra fighting against DS Tsuchida. So I wonder if the Mahindra is a... They always talked about how it's a solid car, but we just struggled to unlock the pace from it, really, in the races especially.
Okay, then Andre, just try to save energy behind. Just try to save energy behind.
Just try and save energy for
we
behind.
certainly saw it in the qualifying yesterday.
Yeah.
But we're seeing it in the race now with Roland. That car can handle pretty
Oscar 4,
consistently.
uniform plus.
If you can get it working, then you can get some decent points out of it. So this isn't definitely encouraging for Mahindra, who their season's already a write-off, let's be honest, but they can still get something out of it.
Lotta is done. He sounds exhausted. The car's not handling
we
right.
can maybe give a rest on the radio then, I guess, from Lotta, because I think Andre probably won't want his exaltations, well, not exaltations, his frustrations broadcast to the world as Cassidy finally goes for attack mode with 8 minutes left in the race.
Right, let's open up Nick De Vries on the radio now. We're watching the race leader now anyway on the screen. He's 2.6 seconds clear to Eduardo Mortara.
Yeah, he's extended the gap, so Mortara displays level best.
Okay, Nick, we're happy with the current pace and consumption. Everything's looking good.
Happy with current pace and happy with consumption. All looking good. We'll hear it again in a second.
Well, no drama there then.
Yeah.
Not sure that's Mortara, the graphics director.
Yeah.
I think Mortara's a bit further down the road.
Okay, Nick, we're happy with the current pace and consumption.
Verline has just got past Dennis, and he's looking like he's closing on Vern too.
So Verline
might sneak the final point here.
And that would really annoy Vern, yeah.
Considering he qualified like 18th or something like that, didn't he?
Yes, way down the order for Verline. And that will really annoy Vern, who had a terrible race. And SHT says as well, he says, I remember Bruno Senna and Karun Chandhok were the first two drivers with Mahindra in the first ever Formula E season. Can't forget the season that got so many Formula F1 drivers racing here. Absolutely. Of course, Chandhok and Senna were teammates at HRT.
Mahindra.
Mahindra and HRT, yeah.
And I think they were teammates at Carlin before that as well.
Oh, they were, weren't they? Yeah. Teammates at Carlin too.
Yeah, but anyway, Roland still pressurizing the back of DaCosta. And looking very, very racy indeed. And De Vries sounds like he's got it pretty much under control. So I'm not sure Venturi's whole state of charge gamble is going to work out. As Bird is also on attack mode. And here we go, Road around the outside. Oh, that was impressive as Vern gets on his fan boost to defend from Verline.
Has he done it?
Red call up.
Can't quite see where he is right now. He's still tense.
Echo, Bravo, Quebec.
Vern passes Evans. Vern passes Mitch Evans for 9th place. So Jean-Eric moves. Yeah.
There we go. So it's not a great end to the race for Evans. I did expect him to do a bit better, to be honest, based on yesterday. And he's going to drop to 4th in the standings. Mortara will go up to 2nd if it ends like this.
How dramatic stuff.
And De Vries will come up to 6th.
How's balance?
How's balance? All good. It says Nick De Vries.
6 in the Charlie.
In the driver standings, Van Dorn will lead on 100 points.
Nick De Vries is in a motor race. He sounds like he's out having a Sunday drive.
He does, doesn't he? He's so chilled out, so calm. Bird's taking attack mode, by the way. He's on 5 to go. How many people had the secret attack mode? And De Vries uses fan boost just to use it, I presume.
Fan boost exit turn 5. This lap or the next.
There you go. So we heard that radio message a little bit delayed there.
Feels like they sort of know they have to use it at some point.
Yeah.
But there's almost a reluctance there. Roland, top 5. Wow.
The only one who hasn't used it yet is Van Dorn. So everyone's used it bar Van Dorn. So keep it.
Yeah, well, I think Van Dorn knows that Roland is flying right now. So
yes.
Although he is 2.5 back, so I think Roland might start to worry about DaCosta and Frines behind him in a moment. And there we go. Van Dorn finally uses it to get out of the way. He didn't really close all that much on Degrassi, sorry.
I'll tell you what, I think that's the first race in quite a while that every driver who've got it used it.
Usually someone crashes out. Yeah, it's Frines all getting really close to the back of DaCosta.
Golf 6 Victor, India Hotel.
Golf 6 Lima, India Hotel. That sounds like a code to a nightclub. I'll go, Nick. I might need some. Actually, alcohol's good for killing off bacteria.
Here we go. So this is
Vern
up the inside of Evans, and that's into the chicane, isn't it?
Yeah, 10.67. Yeah, so that was a well done move with that fan boost as well. And that was a good launch.
Have used exactly the right moment. Once again, 2 races in a row, Vern uses fan boost to gain a position. Only this time it's 9th rather than 2nd. But still, it's going to add up at the end of the season. Vern really in the title hunt, and on a day where
no idea.
Van Dorn. Well, actually, Van Dorn's both of his title rivals are ahead of him, so it's not. Vern needs to just recover and get damage limitation, get as many points as he can to lose as least points as possible in the standings.
I've just been sent a text message by a friend of mine who's watching this later, who's watching this on delay, and he just said to me, "What on earth did you say when the lights went out?" I don't even know. I know. I was trying to say.
I remember. I laughed at you saying that. Something like and we go full circle or something like that.
It was round the roundabout. I can't remember.
Roundabout. That was it.
That's good news.
Van Dorn's is after some more. Well, I said it because I was trying to say let's go round in reverse, but then I got distracted.
I wonder if
personally.
Jaguar are going to swap here because Bird has still got about 2.5
Yeah.
minutes of attack mode, and he's quite close to Evans. But Evans wants to hold on to that final point, and he's the one fighting for the driver's standings
Hang
at
on,
the moment.
added time 0.
0.
Why has that graphic come up? There hasn't been a safety car.
That's redundant, isn't it?
Yeah, there hasn't been a
I
safety
suppose we
car.
didn't get that in yesterday's race.
We didn't,
and there was no
no.
safety cars there either, so I'm not sure what that's about. As Roland actually really on the defensive now from DaCosta.
And Friends is on the attack too. Now look, they're all hitting 10% of energy again with 3 minutes to go.
Good
Oh,
luck.
and
End of this lap.
Roland
Buffer will
brushed the
auto
wall.
cancel. We want you to go to scenario 7. Drive
And
static
Van
targets
Dorn
to
has
the end of
caught
the race.
right back up to the back of Degrassi for the final podium position.
It's all kicking off here today, isn't it?
Indeed.
As I said, the last few minutes of this race, as the voice goes again.
It's all Mercedes-powered cars that have really built their way up to the top 4.
Oh,
haven't
blimey.
they?
And yet, this is the constructor who is leaving.
Tell me when you want
Certainly
me to
feels
switch.
like Berlin
Scenario
is a
7
Mercedes
now.
track now.
Mortara behind,
Yeah.
2.2 seconds.
Do you remember when this used to be Audi Abt Schaffler's track as well? Multiple victories across seasons as well. And do you remember that really one
the
boring
Audi in the
race?
back of the Envision
Yeah.
has not had a great time today, it must be said.
So mid-stint target 126
And here he
on the
goes on the
dash.
inside!
Oh, and he's defending Degrassi just a little bit.
He's going to
But
hit
the
the
Van Dorn
bumping.
has squeezed through.
No, he hasn't. He's still on time. Look at the rearview mirror. He stayed
Yeah,
behind
copy.
it.
Where
Oh,
are
he's
we
got
on
him. You're
energy?
right. Bang on. Bang on, Ed. I'll take your word for that.
But Degrassi's coming back on the outside, so he's not just clear of him just yet. But I don't think there's much Degrassi can do now.
That was violent from both of them. They were not giving each of them any room.
It looked like Degrassi sort of
0.5%
tried
more
to
than
turn in
Edo.
on him there. Have a look at this on the replay. Yeah, so
Down the
Van Dorn
inside.
goes straight, and he just about almost hits. So Degrassi was trying to cut back underneath Van Dorn and didn't quite pull it off. So it was brave by Van Dorn, really. And once again, another great drive to go from basically down from 8th up to the podium, which I think is a pretty good going by the Mercedes driver, and will help him in the championship, no doubt. As Roland, really having to defend into turn 1 from DaCosta.
Go for Mike
No
in
way
the
through
Romeo.
to the Tachita.
Go for Mike Indian Niner. We've just been told over the radio. So.
DaCosta up the inside of Oliver Roland.
Dice bomb,
through.
and Friends
And
is
could
going to get
Friend
it.
follow
Yeah,
him?
Friends is going to have the slipstream, ducks
Okay,
in behind,
3
tries
laps
to
to
round
go,
the
3 laps to
outside.
go.
Roland shuts the inside line as
Yeah,
well.
Roland really struggling on 5%. He's got 1 less than everyone around him.
This is it. He's done. He's at. Oh, dive bomb and a half, and he's through. Nicely done. At
It wasn't
turn
quite as big a
7.
dive bomb as Van Dorn's,
Yeah.
but Friends was giving his best to match that. But there you go. The Envision back up into 6th position then. And they might have a little go at DaCosta, but there's not really a whole lot of time left. Just a minute and a
Gap
lap.
behind Mortara, 2.4 seconds.
Yeah, Mortara actually doing slightly worse on energy now than Nick De Vries. Yeah, looking like De Vries has got things sewn up at the moment. Lotta has also closed back into the rear of Oliver Roland. So it looks like it's not going to be a top 5 for Mahindra after all.
Sadly not. 56 seconds left of this race. They've all used 5% of energy in fighting 3
Second in the
minutes.
championship.
Gap to Mortara, 2.4
Is
seconds.
that De Vries saying
2 laps to go, 2 laps to go.
Go
2 laps to go,
5-2
so
in the
they're not-
uniform.
That was De Vries' radio. Over to you, Ed.
Doesn't look like they're able to squeeze an extra lap in then, and probably just as well. So 2 laps. You've got to make this energy last 2 laps though. It's going to be quite tricky.
Gap to Mortara, 2.4 seconds.
I
Steady.
don't think it's possible. 4% with 2 laps. We saw it yesterday. They were just touching it.
Yeah, Roland very struggling on 3%. A couple others on 3 as well. So I think as long as De Vries lets the clock run out, because where is he? He's got a couple of corners to go and about 13 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, so he's gonna be another 2 laps, isn't it? He's got to be careful. Where is he? On the driver tracker. Did he touch it? Yes, he did. He missed it. So it's the last lap then coming up. 2-1, now 3% for 1 more lap. Yeah, they've got it. Last lap. Oh, that was so
Mortara's gonna have
close.
to coast a bit.
Yeah, that was so close. Mortara and Van Dorn and Degrassi and DaCosta all going to have to these. But that's it. Final lap
Yeah,
here.
De Vries can just afford to sprint away now with that 3% because he's got so much more than the people behind him. DaCosta down to 1% now as he
Wow.
defends like crazy from Robin Friends.
Starting your
Into turn
final
1,
lap, starting your
holds the
final lap.
inside very
Go 5
firm.
kilo.
But Friends, is he going to try and get the undercut on him? He's going to be pushed to the outside here. And he's going to have to go the long way around through the hairpin of turn 2. And sets himself up for the exit. So DaCosta holds firm. And Roland also really under pressure from Lotterer. I think Lotterer may have perked up a bit.
DaCosta's backed up. Here comes Robin Friends. He'll get the move on the inside line for sure. Down in towards turn 6. DaCosta
defends on the inside.
Oh, he's going to have to try around the outside. Now the cutback on now towards the line. But we've got 2% of energy now, 1% for De Vries. He's managed this to perfection as he's approaching the line. Oh, they make contact!
He hits him!
How did DaCosta saved it? And they're still side by side as for the fourth time in his career.
De Vries then. Over the line he goes, and Nick De Vries wins the Berlin ePrix for Mercedes.
What a win!
The same circuit he sealed the championship at last season. The same circuit that he also retired at in his first season with an engine failure while he was running third. So a great win for Nick De Vries after a brilliant start, and Fries just holds on to the line, and so does Roland over Lotterer. But there you go, De Vries, Mortara, Van Dorn, Degrassi, Fries, DaCosta, Roland, Lotterer, Verne, Evans, and Bird. Your top 11.
Thanks, Ed, because I couldn't call that. I went to go for it, and my voice went. So thanks for that.
Yeah, I sort of anticipated. I feel like I've not been pulling my weight lately. So
you've been doing massively there, mate. You've been helping me all race.
Given all the commentary, I've got to head off immediately now. Yes. To do.
You've got to go, and we've got to go immediately as well. But so Nick De Vries wins the Berlin ePrix race 2.
I say immediately in about 40 minutes, but
well, it takes a long time to prepare. Even I know that.
True,
right, let's hear then from the race winner, talking with Karun Chandhok, and then we'll get Ed's thoughts and go through the results and go off air. Karun.
Commentary, great result for you and the team. It looked pretty easy for you there.
Oh, it's never easy. We've had a couple of tough races, and I knew that actually nothing was really wrong. So we kept it together and believed one day it would turn around. So thank you. Great job to the team.
17485. Thanks, guys. That looked like the Nick De Vries from last year is back. So well done to you and the team.
Thank you.
Didn't you also win Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, I want to check. Hang on.
I'm pretty sure he did. Yes. He won the Pocono.
Yeah. One Monaco, one Diriyah, Berlin, Monaco, and this is his 4th win, right?
Did he win Monaco? No, Stoffel.
Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong notes. Yeah, all 3 of Nick De Vries' wins have come in Diriyah. This is his first win to come outside of Saudi Arabia. He won Diriyah 19, won Diriyah 21, and then won Diriyah 22 race 1. So now,
I saw he won Valencia as well in the race that shall not be reminded of.
I thought it was Van Dorn.
Van Dorn got the penalty and climbed back up to 3rd, I think.
So my notes are wrong then. So yeah, this is okay. Well, either way, this is his 4th career win. We know that.
Yes, it is definitely you that is wrong, Josh.
Right, my notes are wrong. I will sack my note writer, which is me. Zach Brown apparently did the grid draw for race 3 in Brie TCC. And exciting race, absolutely. Richie, for me, Mortara is the man of the season so far. Mercedes Power Cars top 3. There's Ed's podium as we go through the results, as Ed's already said.
It's a good thing I made 2 Mercedes drivers, eh?
Absolutely, yeah. Mercedes win, and yesterday it was Mortara, so Mercedes win their final home Grand Prix.
That will be, yes. So a bittersweet moment then. It was also bittersweet when they won the championship, really, because they immediately followed it by pulling out.
Yeah.
So De Vries jubilant, though, and really showed his class today, I think, especially that start. He always starts well at Berlin. I remember last season, but he did incredibly well. There was like a cigarette paper between him and Mortara and the wall, because Mortara was just mid-crash with Evans, and he had to react really well there.
It was
I think Mortara looks a little disappointed, but still, 1st and 2nd, that's going to do his championship a world of good. All
right, Ed, who's your driver of the day?
I was going to say Roland, and then he had that drop back near the end. I don't know. I think I'm going to go for probably Van Dorn.
Oh, okay, yeah, third place.
He's coming from 8th to 3rd, and just was incredibly strong all weekend. I do think it's been a good one from Mortara as well.
I've gone for Fries as mine.
Well, even though he missed the attack mode.
Even though he missed the attack mode, he did a good, strong fight back for 5th.
That was a really fun fight with DaCosta, actually. And
contact on the last
at the end,
lap,
it got very, very handbags at dawn at the end there.
I was for sure that came.
What's your read on that, just very quickly? Because it looked to me like Fines was in the slipstream and sort of just hit the back, because I think DaCosta sort of made a move he wasn't anticipating.
Yeah, DaCosta tried to retake the racing line, as far as I can remember, and just cut across. So I think that, and then
got bumped into, brushed off the wall, and then just continued on in
And he
sixth
was,
position.
they were still side by side as well. That's what I was impressed with. And instant involving Fines and DaCosta is under investigation for causing a
Well,
collision.
no surprises there.
Well, to give you all the wrap-up news as well on Formula E, you can watch the Formula E Zone podcast with Ed, Jack, and Jack coming up in the next few days as well.
Jack Pickering went to Italy to watch Eurovision.
I did,
that's
didn't
why
he?
he's not in Berlin.
And he's not in the
There
comments
we
box
go.
either.
I forgot to put the German flag behind him, of course.
And
I forget that I've got the right flags for most of these races as well, apart from like Jakarta or Indonesia.
I've got
and stuff.
the German flag. I got to put that up. I forgot until just now. Of all the things you forget. Okay, I'll stay around for the podium in the top 3. Ed, thanks for your company. I'll let you go now so you can go do your
Probably a good
endurance.
idea for me to eat lunch before.
Eat lunch first, yeah.
Canterbury round starts as well.
Right, cheers, Ed.
But anyway,
I'll let
with
you
that,
go.
it was great to be back. I'll see you for Jakarta next time.
See you for Jakarta, and thanks for calling that the race with me because I've really, really, really lost the voice.
Okay, well, take it easy, Josh.
You
did
too.
great.
See you later, Ed. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Edward Hunter there joining us as well in the comms box, and we'll switch now to the mini cam, the solo cam, as we'll hear from the top 3, and stick around for the interviews. And I think the podium would be just out of our reach because we've got to be on air at 3:15 for the British Touring Cars race number 2. Although I think that race went okay, so I think if we start at 3:30, we'll have 15 minutes to go anyway. So. We'll see if we can stick around as much as possible. But yeah, instant involving as well under investigation for causing a collision with Fines and DaCosta as well. So stick around for that. Actually, considering Ed's gone off the call, I should probably end that because we're not in the commentary box on Discord. We're on a personal call. So I better end that before he rejoins or tries to join another channel. So let's go through the full results then. And thanks to Ed, by the way, for calling it end because I tried to say, and Nick de Vries, and then all of a sudden my voice just went... And it just went. So let's say if Nick de Vries, the race winner.
Nick de Vries, after what was a rather challenging day yesterday, what a way to turn things around. Huge congratulations. Back to your winning ways. Flawless drive.
Yeah, certainly. We've had a bit of a difficult ride the past 3 races, so honestly, I'm just very, very pleased to be back.
Obviously, it's a bit of an emotional one as well.
Yeah, I've had a shit time the past 3
Apologies.
races, so I'm very, very pleased to come back after a difficult day yesterday, and Albie, my engineer, is always very positive, so that is nice.
You can now breathe and enjoy this moment because you've got a lot of fans here to support you and Mercedes EQ. At any point, were you worried about the challenge of the drivers behind you?
Well, of course, Edo has been very strong all weekend, so we definitely had to keep it clean, but the team managed it very well on their side, and I kind of executed, so yeah, very pleased. Thank you.
Congratulations. I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight, Nick de Vries.
Yeah, and probably no swearing as well after naughty, naughty, naughty as well. Hazel Southwell did just tweet, Nick swearing on TV de Vries. Let's take a look at the race start. It was all done in the start, wasn't it? Demon launch from Nick up the inside and got the position done as well. A nice, sweet move as well. So let's go through the full classification then for the Berlin ePrix, and then we'll go off air because we've got to get it for 2 British touring cars. It's Nick de Vries on top as well with 40 laps completed. Eduardo Mortara, Stoffel Van Doorn top 3. Lucas de Grassi 4th, Robin Fries is 5th, Jennifer DaCosta is 6th as well, Oliver Rowland 7th, Andre Lotter at 8th, Jean-Luc Verne 9th, and Mitch Evans rounds out the top 10. Sam Bird 11th, Pascal Verlaine is 12th, Jake Dennis 13th, Sebastian Buemi 14th, Oliver Askew is 15th, Maximilian Gunther 16th, Oliver Turvey 17th, 18th on the board for Alex Sims, 19th for Sergio Santacamera, 20th for Dan Tickton, 21st for Castelli, and 22nd for Antonio Giovinazzi. All 22 cars finished that Berlin race as well, despite some contact. I think actually they all finished on the lead lap. They did. Nobody was lapped. I think that's the first time in Formula E history that no car has been lapped and they all finished as well. So everyone did 40 laps. Everyone got it done, and I think that's bang on for the Shell Recharge Berlin ePrix 2. Here, the Nielberg circuit, isn't it, as Ed was saying, as they come through. No safety cars and touring cars, says Josh Plays. That's good, which means we're coming up soon. He says, I think, so. That's delayed coverage coming up in about 15 minutes' time. You can join myself and Josh Plays for that one. before live coverage at 4:15 for the last race of the day as well. Slightly earlier than usual as well at Brands, due to being on ITV and the noise restriction on the Brands Hatch circuit, which means we can't do anything past 6 o'clock as well at that track. So it's slightly earlier at Brands. But I think we've had a good day so far. We've done, let's see, for my to-do list, it was touring car notes, graphics, voiceovers, filming, intro, qualifying order, MotoGP, and it's all been done. We've commentated on touring cars, MotoGP, and Formula E. Now I've got 2 more left, 2 more races left, that is. Recorded the timings for everything onto laptops for Moto3, Moto2, and Moto E. So I think we're doing good. Thumbs up for everyone as well. Is it 6 now? It used to be 6:30. Yeah, it's 6 now. In the summer month, it's 6. In the winter, it's 6:30 because of course the light fading as well, different times. So they let it go a bit later as well due to the darkness. So that's why the race is at 4:15 in Brands Hatch. We're back to normal 5:20 next time out. Where I think we're at Thruxton for race round 3 of the touring cars. Weekend 3 of the season as well. As we come through. Just waiting for the podium ceremony because we've got a little bit of time. So I want to see if we can show it, but I think Eurosport might have actually lost it. So I'm going to go to YouTube where Channel 4 have it because I think that's the only way we're going to have the coverage, unfortunately, because they decided to be a bit of fools and not show it on the TV pictures as they come through. Would you trust most media, though, apparently, as well? So Van Dorn through, what a driver as well. I think we're going to hear from him.
Cars were flying again today, and after a little bit of a tricky qualifying, it was important to not lose the momentum and to get back up to speed in the race. And double podium this weekend. I'm definitely happy with that.
And it was a lovely little move. You kept it towards the very end, but on Lucas de Grassi.
Yeah, felt good. Lucas he's a tough one to fight, and I had a little bit more pace than him at that point and just managed to pull it off cleanly.
Congratulations to you and the team.
That is Stoffel Van Dorn, who finished 3rd in today's race.
The applause for Stoffel Van Dorn.
As we were riding with him on board cameras as well throughout the race. It was some fantastic moves from Stoffel. And turn 1, nearly getting launched up the inside as well, was quite a position. And then he got past Lucas de Grassi using fan boost, dived in the inside line and did a beautiful move. And yes, Eurosport have actually gone off for the podium. They've gone off to, I believe, a touring car event. World Touring Cars. No, it's Rallycross. They've gone scrambling as well. As I think we're going to go now to the podium. Saying that, me and Ed were talking about the driver's debrief room and how we didn't see it. It is back now in the post-race, and it's taking too much time, so we are going to go off air because we've got to commentate on the British Touring Cars, and there's nobody left watching anyway. So, my thanks to all of you for watching for ABB FIA Formula E here. It is going to be a great race. Jakarta is next up for the first time. Join myself and Edward Hunter for all that, and join me and Josh Place next for race 2 of the touring cars from Branch. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.